also answer your burning questions. Will Ankalaev choose to grapple and get the fight down to the ground? Will Alex Pereira use those leg kicks and destroy Ankalaev's lead leg? And how will the fight play out? So stick. Welcome to Fighting Stats, the ultimate channel for UFC fans who love statistics and betting breakdowns. I'm your host, Art C, and today I'll be getting you ready for the upcoming UFC fights. Here at Fighting Stats, we have exclusive UFC stats, not available anywhere else, giving us a huge edge over the sportsbooks that help us make money long term. Here at Fighting Stats, we also track how often they throw that left jab or that right hook from southpaw, how often they're moving back, or how much time is spent in side control versus full mount. We have all of that information, but that's not it. We pair that with our tape study here. We're going to go through the fights. We're going to watch for fighters' strengths, weaknesses, tendencies, and overall strategies to help you get prepared for the upcoming UFC fights. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome to Fighting Stats. Welcome back to Fighting Stats. I'm your host, Art C, and today we are breaking down the UFC 313 main event between Alex Pereira and Magomed Ankalaev. What we're going to do is we're going to go deep into the fighting stats. I'll tell you what all the numbers say, who has the advantage on paper, and then I'll give you my prediction on how I think the fight's going to go, and ultimately who's going to win. I will also answer your burning questions. Will Ankalaev choose to grapple and get the fight down to the ground? Will Alex Pereira use those leg kicks and destroy Ankalaev's lead leg? And how will the fight play out? So stick with us. We're going to go through it. It's going to be a very detailed breakdown for UFC 313, Ankalaev versus Pereira. Starting out here, we're going to pull up our fighting stats, a tail of the tape here. We're going to start with Alex Pereira. He's 9-1 in the UFC, 78% of his wins coming from KO, 22% of his wins coming from decision, his one loss coming from KO. Overall here, you're going to see Alex Pereira going to be a distance striker, 83% of his strikes coming from a distance, 6% in the clinch, and 11% in the clinch, 6% on the ground. Overall has 60% distance accuracy, goes to the head at about 61% with a 52% head strike accuracy, which is pretty good. Goes to the body at 20%, 21% with 83% body accuracy, and goes to the legs at a big 18% of the time, accuracy at 77% of the time. On defense, Alex Pereira has a 34% head strike defense, which isn't bad. It's about average, 59% body strike defense, and 88% leg kick defense. You can see overall the strikes absorbed. 89% of the strikes absorbed for Alex Pereira have been at a distance. He has landed 7 knockdowns in his UFC career and only been knocked down once. In terms of the grappling here, he's only attempted 1 UFC takedown. He was successful on that attempt for 100% takedown accuracy. And a lot of people have tried to take Alex Pereira down. He has seen 54 takedown attempts. Only 15 of them have been successful, so a 28% takedown defense. And he has given up some control there. So offensively striking, let's move over to our striking database here. You can see Alex Pereira, his output actually goes up as the rounds go on. So round number 1, he averages 18 strikes landed, 21 in round number 2, 31 in round number 3, 39 in round number 4, and drops off a little bit to 28 in round number 5. So the volume thrown and landed does seem to go up for Alex Pereira as the fight goes on there. And then we talked about the leg kicks. On average, Alex Pereira landing about 6 leg kicks in round 1, 5 leg kicks in round 2, 4 in round 3, 6 in round 2, things like that. So a decent number of leg kicks that he lands as well. Moving on to the defensive striking for Alex Pereira, seems to be pretty consistent, absorbing 13 strikes in round number 1, 20 strikes in round number 2, 16 in round number 3, 18 in round number 4, and 15 in round number 5. Again, he was knocked down once there. I believe that came in the second round, so keep an eye on that. We'll move over to the grappling report there. I don't think Alex Pereira is going to be looking to grapple at all in this fight, so we'll just breeze over this one. Again, he's only taken down Israel Adesanya once. I believe that was at the end of the round. He got 21 seconds of control there. No actual ground strikes thrown with that takedown, so don't think it's going to be a big factor here. We'll touch briefly on the defensive grappling because that's what you want to know. Can Ankalaev get Alex Pereira down to the ground? So overall, at a high level, Alex Pereira has seen 54 takedown attempts, 15 of them have been successful. He did get taken down a couple of times here against, he got taken down once against Yuri Prohaska. He got taken down 3 times against Jan Blachowicz. That was moving up in weight there. And then before that, he had taken down 8 times against Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva being a striker and got him down there early in his UFC career. Andreas Michailidis got him down 2 times there as well. But recently hasn't fought a ton of actual grapplers, right? Khalil Rountree, that last fight with no real takedowns there. Yuri Prohaska, not really a takedown guy. Jamal Hill, Yuri Prohaska, none of those guys really grapplers. Jan Blachowicz is probably the closest that you can come towards a grappler. And again, he got him down 3 times on 8 attempts. There's a lot of control time there for Jan Blachowicz. 290 seconds of control in round number 1, 117 seconds in round number 2, and 45 seconds there in round number 3. Same thing over there. Israel Adesanya getting a takedown and decent number of control. And then Bruno Silva, again, a striker, got him down 4 times, 192 seconds of control and 280 seconds of control from Bruno Silva. So that is a path to victory for Magomed Ankalaev. We will touch on that in a bit in terms of the Alex Pereira takedown defense. Let's move over to the fighting stats tendencies here. So if Ankalaev does get the grappling going here, we'll go over to Alex Pereira bottom time. You can see 52% of the time on bottom was spent in half guard, 24 of the time he spent in full guard, and a small amount of time there in full mount, only 8% given up in full mount. Moving over to the fighting stats, striking tendencies here. Alex Pereira, a lot of single strikes, 94% single strike rate, 42% kicking rate, so a lot of single kicks. His go-to weapon here is 28% of the time he's going to throw a single jab. 19% of the time he wants to throw the rear low kick. 11% of the time he's going to throw the check left hook. And then 10% of the time he's going to throw the right hook. And then there's a lot of kicks, lead low kicks, right high kicks there. So overall, he's going to be a striker. His best weapons are going to be that left hook. He lands that left hook at will, and he puts out a lot of people. So keep an eye on that left hook. And again, Alex Pereira going to fight in orthodox. So we'll move on to the Magomed Ankalaev side, and we'll see how they match up here. So Magomed Ankalaev going to be 10-1-1 in the UFC. 60% of his wins coming from KO, 40% of the wins coming from decision. He does have one submission loss, and that was with 1 second left in that fight against, I believe, Paul Craig. At a high level here, Magomed Ankalaev mixes it in there. 68% of the strikes landing at a distance, 23% on the ground. He will work in the grappling. Overall, he will go to the head at 73% head strike target, at 44% head strike accuracy. Goes to the body at 18% and goes to the legs at 9% of the time. Overall, he has landed 7 knockdowns in the UFC, only been knocked down once. Pretty good chin. On defense for Ankalaev, he has a 22% head strike defense, so pretty hard to hit, I would say overall. 57% body strike defense and 82% leg kick defense. In terms of takedowns, he does choose to proactively grapple sometimes. At 31 attempts, he's only landed 9 of them, so takedown accuracy of only 29%. Takedown defense, he's only allowed 3 takedowns on 22 attempts. Again, I don't see Alex Pereira really looking to grapple, so I doubt he would get him down even if he tried. Moving on to offensive striking for Magomed Ankalaev, you can see his output pretty much remains the same, whereas we saw the Alex Pereira trend up as the fights goes on. Looks like Ankalaev pretty much the same, averaging 16 strikes landed in round 1, 17 in round 2, 17 in round 3, 16 in round 4, and 17 in round 5. Pretty much talk about consistent, an average output there of 16 strikes landed in each of those rounds. The strikes thrown hovering about the low 30s as well, so again, pretty straight output per round and pretty straight accuracy there as well. We talked about those knockdowns there. Last fight, Johnny Walker, he had a couple of knockdowns on Johnny Walker. Jan Blachowicz. We'll go into the details in terms of what those fights meant and how those fights played out, but overall, pretty good significant strike accuracy there. Ground strikes, you guys were wondering, he's landed 122 ground strikes landed. Decent amount there. And he did go to the low kicks there against Johnny Walker, landing 13 of 17 in round number 1, 12 of 12 in round number 2. Decent low kick numbers. That was the one fight where he really picked up the low kicks, actually, on the offensive side. Moving on to the defensive side, we talked about again his 22% head strike defense. You can see how his defense actually gets better as the fight goes on, allowing 11 strikes in round number 1, 12 strikes in round number 2, 9 strikes in round number 3, 6 strikes in round number 4, and 4 strikes in round number 5. So he seems to get better as the fight goes on there. And he has seen quite a bit of leg kicks here. I do want to touch on that because that's a big key to victory here for Alex Pereira, is those leg kicks there. Johnny Walker landing 11 of 19 in leg kicks in round number 1. 8 of 12 in round number 2. Jan Blachowicz landing those leg kicks early in that fight, going 7 of 7 in round 1, 10 of 12 in round 2, 8 of 10 in round number 3. Those leg kicks adding up and then forcing Ankalaev to grapple, so he didn't get any leg kicks off in rounds 4 and 5. Same thing, Anthony Smith landed 6 of 6. Thiago Silva went to the leg kicks quite a bit as well. Volkan Ozdemir as well, going 12 of 13, and we'll touch on that fight in a bit. So there are some keys to victory there for the leg kicks, and I'll show you why there. And then again, offensive grappling, we'll go into the detail in this as well, but overall he's attempted 31 takedown attempts. He's landed 9 of them. He has gone to those. What I found was that he chooses to grapple more as his leg starts to get compromised, and that's when he's looking for the takedowns. I found that a lot of his takedowns came from trips within the clinch. Remember, he does have a Greco-Roman background type style, so a lot of upper body, a lot of trips, upper, things like that. We did see him pick up, I believe, Nikita Krylov, literally pick him up off the cage, go get him a takedown. Unfortunately, he didn't get him down, but he does have that power in the upper body. A lot of those takedowns coming from trips. He can shoot an outside double leg takedown, but it's not his bread and butter, not what he normally goes to. And then defensive grappling here for Ankalaev, we'll just touch on it again. I don't think Alex Pereira is going to grapple here, but overall, Ankalaev has seen 22 takedown attempts, only allowing 3 of them, the most recent one coming against Nikita Krylov. And again, I don't think Alex Pereira is going to get him down even if he tried. Moving on to FightingStats tendencies, the top time here. So if Ankalaev does get the takedown, what I found was he spends a lot of the time in half guard. You can see our stats say about 56% of the time is spent in half guard, 22% of the time was in full guard, 20% was in back mount. I even saw one of the fights where he landed into side control, getting his opponent down, and then put himself back into half guard. I think it's more able to control his opponents. He rarely lets his opponents up because he spends so much time in half guard. There's no real submissions from the bottom when you're in half guard as well. So very hard for the opponent to get back up. So keep an eye on the half guard from Ankalaev. In terms of striking tendencies, 83% single strike rate, 35% kicking rate, so very similar to Alex Pereira. A lot of single strikes, a lot of front kicks there. He does like the check right hook. Again, he's going to be in southpaw, so 23% of his strikes include that right hook. And 16% is going to be that right jab, and then he goes to the rear high kick about 15% of the time, and the lead low kick at 9% of the time. So again, he's going to be fighting in southpaw in this fight. We're going to answer these questions first. We're going to say, does Alex Pereira or can Alex Pereira land these low kicks? Let's check this out. All right, welcome back. We wanted to know, Alex Pereira takes on Magomed Ankalaev this weekend at UFC 313. Will the leg kicks of Alex Pereira add up and actually affect Magomed Ankalaev? So we're doing a deep dive here. We're going to start here against the Volkan Ozdemir. This is Magomed Ankalaev against Volkan Ozdemir. This is after round 1, so I just want to bring you up to speed what happened in this fight here. So here are the highlights. Here's Ankalaev here. Volkan Ozdemir lands a clean left hook there on him. He lands a Ankalaev returns a right hook here. Here he lands a left straight that drops Volkan Ozdemir. Keep in mind here, Volkan Ozdemir fighting in orthodox in this round. He spent the whole round in orthodox, and it looked like Ankalaev was landing those left hands, getting there, and he eventually winning round number 1 here. So this is where we pick off here. It's going to be round number 2. Again, Volkan Ozdemir losing round number 1 to Magomed Ankalaev, and then so here between rounds we're going to see an adjustment here from Ozdemir. Right here, he switches here about 40 seconds into the round. He throws a high kick. He comes back. Now he switches to southpaw. Now look at this. Now it's southpaw versus southpaw. Again, Ozdemir had fought orthodox the whole fight. Now he switches to southpaw, and what does he do with the southpaw versus southpaw? Right away, he goes to the outside low kick. Watch this again. So switches to southpaw. Now it's southpaw to southpaw. Now the outside low kick is there. Right away, goes to the outside low kick. One. And up. Another one, right? So, Ankalaev does have the ability here. Ankalaev switches. Look at this. Okay, so Ozdemir lands that outside low kick, right? And Ankalaev was fighting in southpaw. Now all of a sudden Ankalaev switches to orthodox because he doesn't like the outside low kick. So he thinks maybe he can get away with it by mirroring him. So if Ozdemir goes southpaw, Ankalaev is going to go orthodox. Right now Ozdemir tries the outside low kick there, doesn't like it. Now, because Ankalaev's in orthodox, Ozdemir switches back to orthodox, so the outside low kick is there again. Now they're starting playing this cat and mouse game right away there. We saw Ankalaev switch right back to southpaw, and right as he switched to southpaw, Ozdemir hit the inside low kick, right? So Ankalaev really doesn't like this outside low kick spot here. Ozdemir is doing a good job of mirroring whatever Ankalaev shows him. He's trying to get either southpaw versus southpaw or orthodox versus orthodox, whatever it is. So Ankalaev does have that ability, and Ozdemir can switch, I guess, and throw the leg kicks here. So it was a stance switch battle here. So there again, Ozdemir switches back to southpaw, back to orthodox. But Ankalaev is not liking this outside low kicking game, right? So it's here, southpaw versus southpaw again. All right, so with a minute 24 left in this round here, so Ozdemir mirrors southpaw versus southpaw, right? He steps into it, goes outside low kick. That one right there. Watch this one again. Here's the opposite stances. The kick's not there. So what does he do? Ozdemir switches. He fakes. So now he switches his stance. He steps into southpaw, and then he can throw the outside low kick, landing right behind the knee of Ankalaev. Ankalaev does not like low kicks. So what does he do? You can see him put it down gingerly. His face like, oh shit, that hurts. What does he do right away? As soon as he gets kicked in the leg and Ozdemir comes forward, he level changes. Now that's when he wants to get the fight down to the ground. This is the first time that he actually thought about grappling. It's after Ozdemir beats up that lead leg, lands a clean leg kick, and Ankalaev says, no more, let's go in there. He tries to time the takedown, gets the single leg, drops him down, gets Ozdemir down on the ground now, right? So now he's trying to hold him there, get to the back, and Ozdemir pops back up. So just wanted to show you again, it wasn't Ankalaev that came out proactively looking to grapple. Volkan Ozdemir obviously going to be not a one dimension, but he's going to be mainly a striker, mainly a power striker. And Ankalaev did not come out and try to proactively grapple in here. It only took him until the leg kicks started adding up did Ankalaev really look for the kicks. All right, in his very next fight, we move on to his fight against Thiago Santos. We're going to pick it up in round number 4. Thiago Santos fighting in southpaw in this fight here. He landed 7 low kicks in round number 1, I think 5 in round number 2, and 12 leg kicks in round number 3 on Ankalaev here. So you can see here the left lead leg of Ankalaev here is very red at the bottom. Again, Thiago Santos had been beating up this lead leg to a point where there is a visible red mark there. Still able to fight from southpaw, but eventually here in round number 4 against a heavy-handed Thiago Santos, now he's choosing to close the distance a little bit. Ankalaev choosing to pressure. You can see the volume strikes here, not very big in volume. Very close fight up until that point. But now Ankalaev trying to come forward, right? Close that distance, pressure forward. As Thiago Santos finally loads up, he closes the distance and clinches. Again, we talked about the body lock takedowns for Ankalaev. He's more of a Greco-Roman type of guy. He goes body lock here, goes some knees. You can see the redness on the right leg there of Ankalaev really starting to take a toll. And then eventually what he does, I missed it here. So from here up against the fence, he's going to go knee. I believe he goes outside trip. These are the takedowns as Thiago Santos switches. He goes outside trip, dumps Thiago Santos down to the ground. And this was in round number 4 with 30 seconds left. That's when Ankalaev started to grapple. Again, the leg kicks starting to add up, and he doesn't like it, so he chooses to get the fight down to the ground again. Right after that fight, the next biggest fight here is he fights Jan Blachowicz, who starts to go to the legs here. Let's pick this up. This is the highlights of round number 1. See Blachowicz going outside kick there. Here, Jan Blachowicz goes left hook, lands a clean left hook on Ankalaev there. Ankalaev goes straight left, lands there. Another push kick there. It was Ankalaev looking for that push kick there. And so the thing with Jan Blachowicz here is that he tended to go shin to shin. Like he trained his shins a little bit more. He can throw these kicks a little bit more. So in round number 2, he was starting to go to the kicks a lot more as well. I believe he landed 12 leg kicks in round number 2. Here's some clips. Here, let me just back this up here. So this is the end of round number 2. Here's Jan Blachowicz lands a right hand. Here's that inside kick there, shin to shin. You can see it really loading up there. Jan Blachowicz lands a left hand. Again, shin to shin there. Right kick to his yeah, you can see he gingerly puts that leg down. Really didn't start to like it. At that point in round number two, he has one takedown attempt in round number two. The leg kicks actually, really adding up here. And then let me show the end of round number three. Same thing here. The highlights from round number three. Another more inside low kicks there. Ankalaev definitely not liking that. Chooses to switch to orthodox at that point. Jan Blachowicz barely landing a right hand there. Getting a kick to the body from Jan Blachowicz. Here it is again. Here Ankalaev in back to orthodox. But Jan Blachowicz can fight from orthodox as well. So he goes outside low kick against orthodox. Now Ankalaev's both legs are beat up, right? When he fights in southpaw, the lead leg is beat up, and when he fights in orthodox, the lead leg is beat up, right? Here's Ankalaev bouncing on the leg there, right? So the leg kick's obviously doing big damage here into round number four. So that took 3 rounds for Ankalaev to get beat up with leg kicks, right? So what does he do in round number four? Let's back this up, right? Here's the start of round number four starts. As soon as he comes forward, right, 10 seconds into the fight, he's waiting for Jan Blachowicz to come forward. Pull him right. Jan Blachowicz looking for that leg kick. He stands outside. He is a counter puncher waiting for an entry. And then as soon as he finds his entry, punches his way into the clinch, pushes Jan Blachowicz up until the fence here, right? Works the clinch a little bit, pummels for underhooks, works some knees, cage pushing there, right? And what he's trying to do is just hold on to him, and then eventually gets this trip here, goes outside double leg and gets the takedown, right? And then for the rest of the round here, he spends the rest of the round on top. Avoids taking leg kick damage there, right? Gets on the top and rides out the top control here, right? So he doesn't have to absorb any more leg kicks in round number four. Let's move on to round number five. What does he want to do in round number five? He had success in round number four with the grappling. Same thing. 10 seconds into the round, he comes up close right away looking to shoot for a takedown. Jan's trying to run away. Ankalaev gets there, right? So, and then spends the rest of this round on top as well. A lot of good top control here. So Ankalaev minus 400 on the live line. So again, same thing where the first couple of rounds against Jan Blachowicz didn't really come out and proactively grapple at all. It took Jan Blachowicz to land the outside low kicks in southpaw, took him outside low kicks in orthodox, and it got to a point where Ankalaev could not walk on either leg, and then he chooses to bring out the grappling there. So it's not his go-to, but he does have that in his back pocket, able to win round 4 and 5, and I believe this fight ending in a draw there. But Ankalaev, again, you can see here he's minus 400 on the live line going into round 5. So the leg kicks of Alex Pereira definitely can add up, but I fear that if he does go to the leg kicks that often, then that's going to bring out the wrestling and the grappling of Ankalaev here. All right, we're going to move over to the Alex Pereira side. We know him as Poatan. He fights in Orthodox here. We're just going to bring up his last fight against Khalil Rountree, who is also a southpaw. So we are curious to see if Alex Pereira goes to this inside low kick, right, that he likes to kick with his rear kick, this right leg. Does he go to this inside kick there and try to get the inside of the Khalil Rountree leg, right? So this is what we watched here, right? So here he's at 315 here. It's still Orthodox versus Southpaw here. Alex, you can see there's not a ton of wind up behind it, right? He puts all of his weight on that right leg to balance, and then quickly just touches the outside low kick there and lands on Khalil Rountree. So he did this again and again in the round. He never went inside low kick, so it is not really a concern. But the southpaw versus orthodox dynamic is a little bit different. Alex Pereira doesn't really switch to southpaw to get that outside low kick that we saw Volkan Ozdemir do, and Alex Pereira is sort of forced to go outside low kick. So I do think that buys Ankalaev a little bit of time in order to survive the leg kicks. It's not like Alex Pereira is going to come out just pound leg kicks that Ankalaev was doing shin to shin. He goes outside kick more. I think it will give Ankalaev a round or two to be able to stand and trade a little bit with Ankalaev. But again, if the leg kicks do start to add up against Ankalaev, he will look to grapple if he doesn't come out grappling right away. Maybe he wants nothing to do with him. Maybe he knows that Alex Pereira is a one-dimensional striker, and maybe he will grapple. We just haven't seen it. Ankalaev has fought a lot of heavy-handed hitters. I could see a lot of cage pushing early, trying to wear on Alex Pereira, maybe take away some of the power early. So I think there might be cage pushing or a little bit, stalling out. It is a 5-round fight, so he's not going to go all out right away. But I could see that happening, and then I think in the later rounds, Ankalaev will look for the takedowns. The takedown defense of Alex Pereira obviously getting better as the UFC career goes on. A lot of people trying, obviously not wanting to stand with Alex Pereira, but again, he hasn't fought a real grappler. Ankalaev probably the best grappler that he's fought, and Ankalaev really doesn't proactively grapple yet. So I do believe at some point Ankalaev will get this takedown. He will get some top control, and he will hang out in a half guard. I do think Alex Pereira on bottom is not a good look. I don't think he has any get ups. I don't think he's going to get up after Ankalaev gets the takedown. So I do see a lot of grappling upside for Ankalaev there. So let's move on. We're going to look next into will Alex Pereira land this left hook on Ankalaev. All right, now we're looking into can Alex Pereira land his patented left hook, and if he does, what will Ankalaev do here? So let's look at these highlights. This is going back to the Volkan Ozdemir. Volkan Ozdemir being a very heavy-handed hitter here as well. Here he's going to be fighting in southpaw, and look at this big overhand left comes here. He's going to hit Ankalaev clean. Ankalaev doesn't see this punch coming. Volkan Ozdemir lands this clean left hook, and again, Volkan's a power puncher. That was a clean one. Ankalaev ate it, looked at him, and didn't get wobbled, didn't go down. Very good chin on Ankalaev here. So keeping that in mind there, Ankalaev lands a couple of left straights. He knocks actual Volkan Ozdemir down. Another one, step in two from Ankalaev here. All right, we're moving on to Ankalaev versus Thiago Santos. And again, Thiago Santos, another big hitter here. Here you can see Santos going to the outside low kick that we talked about. Another inside kick from Thiago Santos, right? Here, Ankalaev tries to go inside kick as well. A couple of knees in the clinch. Here's a left hook from Santos, right? Let me just back this up. Here's that kick again. Santos fighting orthodox here. This is the left hook, right? He lands a knee over the top, lands this right hook. Actually wobbles Ankalaev briefly. I think he was a little bit off balance. I think it counted as a knockdown. Another nice knee there from Ankalaev, and there's that left hook over the top behind at the top of the head. So there are times where Ankalaev does eat this left hook. Seems to eat them pretty good here. Moving on to Ankalaev versus Jan Blachowicz. Again, another striker kind of ground guy here. Here's that left straight there from Ankalaev. He likes to throw that down the middle. And here Blachowicz goes this looping left hook there, right? That lead hand of Ankalaev a little bit low, that right hand. Jan Blachowicz catches him clean with that left hook there. Ankalaev always looking for that check right hook on that move back there. So it's definitely open to the counter left there. And then again, lands a nice straight left. And that front kick as well. Move on to Magomed Ankalaev versus Alexander Rakic. This is the last fight that this is at the end of round number 2. Ankalaev goes left straight to the body. He likes that one. Look at this here. Rakic leans back, goes check left hook. Lands a clean check left hook on Ankalaev on the temple there. Here's another straight left from Ankalaev that he likes. And then partially lands another one. Another straight left here. So the question is, will Alex Pereira land that left hook that he really likes? Again, picture this. It's going to be orthodox versus for Alex Pereira. It's going to be southpaw for Ankalaev. It's going to be the fighting of that lead hand there, right? So Alex Pereira is going to throw that left hook. What Ankalaev loves to do is that check right hook. We talked about how that's his most thrown weapon there, is this check right hook from orthodox or from southpaw. Alex Pereira likes the left hook from orthodox. So it's going to be both guys' lead hand. I can see a case where both guys are coming in. Both guys are going to try to throw that hook. And I can see both guys landing. Ankalaev has been caught a bunch of times with the left hook, so it would not surprise me at all if Alex Pereira lands this. Ankalaev does seem to have a decent chin. He has eaten some big shots as well. And then I favor Alex Pereira's power in that exchange if both guys going to land that lead hook there. So it's definitely possible. I think that is his go-to weapon. If Alex Pereira is going to win by knockout, it's going to be accumulation of leg kicks, or it's going to be the left hook that Ankalaev has to eat. Now the question is, can Ankalaev get Alex Pereira down to the ground? And if so, what will happen? Will Alex Pereira get back up here? So let's start here with the Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya. This is in the third round. The third round just started. Alex Pereira just missing on that lead hook here, right? Coming forward, pressuring Izzy down. He kicks. Izzy grabs a hold of the body. Let me back this up here. Throws that left hook, just misses, right? Clinching. Throws this knee, comes forward. Throws another body kick. Israel Adesanya catches this lead kick. He pulls Alex into him. So now he can get this body lock, both body lock unders. Alex Pereira looks like he's going to go outside trip here, right? He's trying to step over the back leg of Israel Adesanya, get this trip down. He doesn't do it well. It looks like Izzy's going to fall on bottom, but he turns into him and rolls up on top. Israel Adesanya ends up on top. So Israel Adesanya, not really a grappler, ends up on top here. Let's fast forward this, right? He gets to the back of Alex Pereira, drags him back down again. Just going to fast forward some of this, right? So this whole round here, it's Israel Adesanya on the back trying to put the hooks in. He gets one hook in. I have never seen Israel Adesanya on the back of anybody, right? He's struggling to get these hooks in. But this whole time, Alex Pereira trying to get back up. He looks like he should be able to stand back up. Now it's Israel Adesanya still on the back. Still brings him back down again. Looks like an arm triangle is there. All right, so he gets taken down into round number 3 and spends almost 3.5 minutes off of his back here, right? So not a great sign when somebody like Israel Adesanya, a distance striker, can hold you down onto the ground. So definitely not a good look here in this fight. All right, let's move on to the Jan Blachowicz versus Alex Pereira. Look at this. This is the start of the fight. 4 minutes, 57 seconds. Jan Blachowicz comes out, stands here. About 10 seconds go by, a couple of shots there. As soon as Alex Pereira kicks, Jan Blachowicz in on a single leg, trying to get this single leg, pushes Alex back to the fence. Look at this. One of Alex's tools that he hasn't really shown too much is this front guillotine. He changed. Apparently, he has a very good guillotine. He's attacking this guillotine. It's standing. It's kind of close here. Jan Blachowicz says it's fine. And then Alex Pereira still looking for the guillotine, trying to defend. I'd rather him pummel for underhooks and get, work on the takedown defense rather than trying to get this choke here, right? But Jan Blachowicz really fighting for this single leg up against the fence. Finally gets this takedown, ends up on top. About 3 minutes to go in the round, right? So can Alex Pereira get up here? We're going to put this on fast feed. Again, Jan Blachowicz gets onto the back, puts one hook in. He's looking for a body lock. Jan Blachowicz has this body lock. Now he's working on a choke, right? Jan Blachowicz on the back. And he rides his body lock for the rest of the time, right? They don't really train Alex Pereira to get out of this. Jan Blachowicz able to keep this body lock for the rest of this round. Just look at this. Fast forward, working on this rear naked choke. Alex doing a good job of preventing the rear naked choke, but Jan does go a couple of times. He looks like he almost has it. Alex Pereira on bottom. Look at this. He had 2 submission attempts, both of those coming from rear naked choke. And then we saw Israel Adesanya get his back as well there, right? So, again, not a great look, as finally when he did get taken down, then he spent the rest of the round on bottom, getting exposing back control to somebody like Jan Blachowicz. All right, now let's move on to Alex Pereira versus Yuri Prochazka here. Here we are in the first round here, halfway through the first round. Yuri throws a right to the body. Outside, he ducks under. Alex Pereira tried that left hook, missed. Yuri Prochazka grabs a single leg. Alex Pereira defends, so he pushes him up against the fence. We just saw this in the Jan Blachowicz fight. As soon as you go single leg, you put the head on the outside. Alex Pereira looking for that front guillotine here, right? And he goes to this guillotine again. He tried it on Blachowicz. It's a standing guillotine. Apparently has a very good guillotine, but again, he tries it very close to getting it, but doesn't get it now and allows the takedown on Yuri Prochazka, who is not a grappler. 2 minutes left in this round here. What does he do? So he's still on this guillotine, maybe a Von Flue choke. We'll take a look at that. And now it's Yuri Prochazka on top, spends 2 minutes of control time on top, just raining down ground and pound. So in the times that we have seen Alex Pereira taken down, he has not shown any get-ups. And that has to be like, oh, there was a get up, actually. Never mind. So here, he can finally post in half guard. He's using the fence to get up. Yuri Prochazka cannot control the post. Alex Pereira gets up here with 20 seconds left, back out to distance. So I'm going to say, part of that's the get up, so he doesn't know how to get up, but Yuri Prochazka, again, doesn't have the elite control. But it is concerning when Alex Pereira does get taken down there. He spends a lot of time off of his back. Again, Jan Blachowicz got him down there. So somebody like Magomed Ankalaev, he has a very elite top pressure. He likes to hang out in full guard. I do not see... I think it's going to be low chances of Alex Pereira getting back up to his feet if he gets taken down here. So Ankalaev does have a huge grappling advantage in this, and then on the feet it's probably pretty close. All right, so here is my fight prediction for Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. Alex Pereira going to come out in orthodox. Magomed Ankalaev going to come out southpaw. So keep an eye on the low kicks early from Alex Pereira. We talked about how when he fought a southpaw in Khalil Roundtree, he did not go inside low kick like Jan Blachowicz did. Instead, he went outside low kick. The outside low kick I don't think has as much power as an inside kick does for Alex Pereira, but he does go outside low kick. So we also saw that Ankalaev doesn't come out of the gate grappling like a Jan Blachowicz did against Alex Pereira. He will stand and trade a little bit with you. He'll work some lefts to the body. He'll stand in southpaw, so he's looking for the check right hook as well. But he does have a nice left straight. He'll work the body. I think Alex Pereira will work the body. We talked about how both guys are high level strikers, but a lot of the time they're throwing single shots. Again, both guys kind of like a counter puncher, so Ankalaev won't engage too much, or at least won't throw heavy combos. A lot of touching, a lot of feinting. It might be 1-2s, things like that. But the low kicks of Alex Pereira are going to add up, right? So he's going to go outside low kick, outside low kick. I think he's going to be fine. So if Ankalaev chooses to strike with him round number one, it's either going to be a variation of a lot of cage pushing. I think Ankalaev will push Alex Pereira up against the fence, maybe wear on him a little bit. I do think that Ankalaev is probably a little bit stronger in the clinch. He does have that Greco-Roman background where he can hold you up against the fence, and maybe wear on him. The power of Alex Pereira in round number one cannot be the same of Alex Pereira in round number two after a round of grappling. But if Ankalaev does not choose to grapple right away in round number one, I think round number one is going to be pretty close. I think it's going to be Ankalaev pushing him up against the fence. A lot of stalling tactics, a lot of knees up the middle, elbows, things like that. I do think if they land, it's not going to be too hard. But there is a case where Ankalaev just comes out and grabs a takedown, goes to clinch, and get it right away. We just haven't seen it on tape. He's fought a lot of high-level strikers before, a lot of heavy hitter strikers before, and he hasn't done that. So I'm not too sure on the game plan. But if he does, I do think he has a clear upside. Once he does get the takedown, we talked about how poorly Alex Pereira defends from bottom. Yeah, so when he gets the single leg attacked, he is looking for that standing guillotine right away. I prefer him to dig those underhooks, try to get space and defend the takedowns, but he chooses to go over, tried to get the guillotine on him. He tried on Jan Blachowicz. He tried before there as well on Yuri Prohaska. That's sort of his go-to move. But if he doesn't get the guillotine, then he's going to end up on bottom. And if he ends up on bottom, I don't think he's getting up from Ankalaev in half guard. So I think at any point, if Ankalaev gets a takedown in any round, that's probably the round for Ankalaev. Whereas if they're standing on the feet, it's not like Ankalaev is completely outgunned on the feet. He is a distance striker. He is a decent striker. He does like the check right hook, just like Alex Pereira likes the check left hook. So I can see Alex Pereira landing the left hook. That's probably his best path to victory, is a combination of leg kicks and that lead left hook. But Ankalaev does seem to have a really good chin. Ankalaev does have some really good cardio. So it will be a rinse and repeat for Ankalaev. I do think he has a path to victory. So if the leg kicks do add up, he will look to grapple, and I think that's a big path. So for me, I think Ankalaev just has more value. I think he can land his own leg kicks. I can land straight lefts. On the feet in a striking match, obviously, I'm going to prefer Alex Pereira, but the grappling upside is just too big, and we have seen that Ankalaev can use it. If he chooses to use it a lot more, then I favor him even more. Kind of surprised by the line, but kind of not. I know Alex Pereira going to be a heavy favorite in terms of the public betting eyes. Not a lot of people know about Magomed Ankalaev. You just see a Russian name, assume he's a grappler, but he's not really a grappler at heart. He's going to strike a little bit there. So um, it will look close for a while until it doesn't. Until Alex Ankalaev starts to grapple, then I think Ankalaev will start pulling away. I don't know if he finishes him. We saw all those grappling exchanges. We saw Israel Adesanya get onto the back of Alex Pereira. We saw Jan Blachowicz get onto the back of Alex Pereira. I'm gonna say Ankalaev is just as good. If he gets on the back there, he will attack a rear naked choke. But the submission isn't his go-to. He's not hunting for submissions. I think if the opportunity presents itself and he gets onto the back, of course he's going to look for it. But from half guard, he's content with staying in half guard, raining down some ground and pound, winning the minutes, wearing out his opponent there. So I don't think I'm going to see a lot of risks from Ankalaev early, especially when Alex Pereira is the most dangerous in the early rounds. But I could see the grappling come out into the later rounds. So take a look at it. Ankalaev to win by submission, maybe in the later rounds, is live. Ankalaev to win by decision is live because a lot of grappling and ground control time. Alex Pereira to win by left hook is live, but Ankalaev does seem to have a decent chin. Alex Pereira by leg kicks is also live, but again, that's going to pull out the grappling a little bit. So there are different ways of this fight playing out. Even Alex Pereira by guillotine is a sneaky spot there. That's very possible. But if he doesn't get the guillotine, he's going to get taken down. If he doesn't land the left hook, he'll probably get taken down there. So I like Alex Pereira for all of those reasons. I know this is a long-winded breakdown, but I really want to get confident in my read here. I think it's going to end either into the later rounds, or Ankalaev could push this to decision. I don't really see a way. It's not like Ankalaev really pulls apart in the stand-up. And I think if it's 25 minutes in the stand-up, it's possible that Alex Pereira wins the decision, but it's unlikely. It would have to come from multiple big shots, big moments, things like that. I think Ankalaev might be a little bit busier on the feet, and then again, the takedowns winning the top time. So my official prediction is going to be Magomed Ankalaev. I'm going to say he wins a decision to be safe, but I might play some submission. I know the odds on submission kind of high there, so I think there is a clear path to victory. I don't think he doesn't have any submission wins, so it's going to be a very sneaky play. Could line the wallet because it hasn't happened. A lot of people don't think it's happened, but the path is there. We've seen the weaknesses from both sides. Left hooks from Alex Pereira grappling and rear naked choke for Ankalaev. That's my prediction there. Leave me a comment in below if you like these type of breakdowns, if you like this type of detail. Find me one other person that has this type of detail on one other fight, and I'll get you a prize there or something, but nobody else goes into this type of depth on one fight. I like to do my analysis before I put my money down, and my money is probably going to be on Magomed Ankalaev. As always, my name is Artsy, and this is Fighting Stats. Thanks for watching. Well, that is it for today. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Artsy. If you like this type of content, make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe. You'll get notified anytime we put out new content. In 2024, we are up over 118 units. That's $58,000 at $500 units. We are using our exclusive UFC stats, not available anywhere else. I'm telling you, it gives us a huge edge over our competition, helps us make money long term. So come join us today, patreon.com/FightingStats. That's where we put all of our bets, our best bets, our shoot for the moon parlays. You can visit us also on our website, FightingStats.com, for all of our stats there. We have a lot of new tools coming out. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching.